Good morning. Today is Thursday, the 24th, and I'm just going to go over today's lesson with all of you. So, our big essential question for the next 2 days is how do you know if something is living? And our goal is to be able to determine whether or not something is living using a list of characteristics of living things. Call it the characteristics of life. On the side right here, you'll see these are our vocab words for the next 2 days. This is the schedule. So just wanted to give you a quick rundown of how I take attendance for classes, just in case some of you have forgotten or don't know. I look at the assignments that you turn in every single day to see, who's keeping up to date with the things that we're doing in class, but also I check, Zoom. If you're not on Zoom, you got to make sure you communicate with me somehow, show me some way that you are doing something throughout the day to learn. On async days, something I forgot to share is that I add, like a question of the week or something like that, and that is how I know whether or not you participated in class. Just looking at the different assignments due on those days or that I post. Biggest thing is that you got to check Google Classroom every single day for communication and to communicate with me one way or another. Turning an assignment is communicating with me. I have posted these slides that I'm showing you right now on here. I'm going to put all the slides in the same spots. Essentially, there's going to be 2 sets of slides every single week. One for Monday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, and one for Thursday, Friday. Okay. Assignments you know about. Something really cool if you have never checked it out is that Google Classroom has this thing where if you click to do, for all the classes that you're in, it'll show assignments that you have been assigned and you haven't finished yet. It'll also put them in order of when they're due. Missing, these are missing for me. That's something pretty cool, easier way to keep track of all of your classes or all of your assignments for all of your classes. Okay, just a little bit rundown. That's some logistical things. Now let's get into the information. So like I said, you'll have 2 different sets of slides every single week. The first one is for Monday, Tuesday is going to go over, the first essential question of the week. And then Thursday, Friday is going to go over your second essential question of the week. At the end of each 2 days, you're going to do a revised answer for the question for those 2 days. So like I said, for today, which is Thursday, our question is, let me go back to it. Okay. How do you know if something is living? So that's what we're focusing on for the next 2 days. Okay. So how will we do things this year? So this is called the RRR model, the triple R model, however you want to say it. There's 3 big steps. So the first idea, so today is the initial ideas. We start with just trying to figure out what do we even know? So what are some random things, maybe not random, what are some things that initially you think of when you think about living things? What makes them living? So that's just a brainstorm portion of it. And then refined is we're starting to take in information, not only from what we already know from the past, but what we're learning through activities, labs, readings, and notes so that we can keep changing our answer, as in like refining it, making it better, improving it, all those different things. And then revise is at the end of the unit, you're going to try to answer the same question using all of the information that you learned. So all the different essential questions are different pieces to a bigger question. And then reflect. You're going to compare your answers and your understanding from when you initially started in the initial ideas section to like now at the end of the unit. Well, not now, later on at the end of the unit. Types of assignment for each essential question. So we have an essential question tracker, which is this document, and I'll show you how to use it in a little bit. Okay. So initial ideas, refine, and word part practice. So that is something that you did or should have done yesterday on Wednesday during applied learning, where you're putting different word parts together. Your revised paragraph. So we do a big claim, evidence, and reasoning paragraph, and we're going to work on it throughout the 2 days. And usually I have sentence frames or different things to help you out with that. And then the last part is the EQ check. So this is our quiz that we have after every 2 days so that you can take that revised paragraph that you've been working on, you paste it on there from your tracker. You can copy and paste it directly from your tracker. And then that's how I grade you. Okay, that's how I know that you're learning or where you're at. So those two pieces go together. So your grade for this class is mostly from the EQ checks. Trackers are 10%. So you can also, if you're somebody who likes to write things down, you can do that. Just make sure I can read it. And then you can take a picture, post it on your document, or you can just email it to me. Preferably you post it on your documents because that's an easier way for me to keep track of it. Okay, so these are all the details for the EQ tracker. If I'm on our Google Classroom, so biology classwork, it is number 6, and I already opened it up. So this is what it looks like. And right here where you says brainstorm prompts and everything, this is the initial ideas that I was talking about. Here are the word parts. And then as you go down, you see that there are refined questions. So these refined questions are just to get you thinking deeper about what we are learning in class, and so that you can answer the question, how do you know something is living? So we start with just this question, we break it down step by step with these refined questions, and at the end, you revise to write a claim, evidence, and reasoning, and that's what you're going to post on your quiz of the week. There is a grading rubric right here that you can look at that shows you how your claim, evidence, and reasoning paragraph is going to be graded. Okay. And something very, very cool, you all have that virtual notebook. You can, because everything ties back together at the end of the unit, what I would do is I would hyperlink, or I would link your tracker. So this is my tracker. I would copy, so Control C, Control C, or Command C, depending on what device you're using. Okay, you can go in and say, this is my notebook, right? I would go and find, oh, no, that's not it. I want this slide. So this is my first essential question, right? I can, if I click the right one, I'm sorry, I'm not clicking the right things right now. EQ 1.1, okay? Click this insert link, and now I know that my document is always there. So when I'm working on answering what is the purpose of stress and how it can impact your body later on, I can have all of my EQ trackers linked to all these different things, so I can quickly just open and pop them in. This is a great way to keep things super organized for yourself, and just quick and easy way for you to find things always. So this virtual notebook is more so that you can help keep things organized. As you see, like every unit that we're doing for this quarter, I've already put the essential questions. So like throughout this quarter, you can just keep linking it so everything's in one designated spot. It's very, very nice. Go back to this. So biology is the study of life on your own. You can brainstorm some ideas of your initial thoughts of how do you know something is living. If you did the question from yesterday, you've kind of already started this process. Okay. Just some more guiding questions and sentence starters to help you out. So this is what you want to put. You want to start, where's my mouse? You want to start, make sure you fill it in right here. Okay. So initial ideas of how do you know something's living? Say, what is something really basic? Carbon. You have carbon. Okay. That would be an initial idea for me. If you are not in class, you obviously did not participate in the breakout room, which is okay. It's just kind of nice to have because then you can hear the thoughts and ideas of other people and put it into your tracker so you have more initial ideas. Okay, so we're going to use this acronym, GROCER. So not like a grocery bag or anything like that, but GROCER is an acronym that we use for the characteristics of life. G stands for growth. R stands for reproduction. O stands for organized. C for code. E for energy. R for response to change. So these are the characteristics that we look for in organisms or in things, right? Because organisms tend to be more living things, or I guess are non-living things. But these are the characteristics that we look for to identify whether or not something is living or non-living. So all living things can grow. So they have the ability to grow. Look at the caterpillar. Starts as an egg, caterpillar, chrysalis, then butterfly. Can reproduce, so has the ability to make offspring, whether it's asexual or sexual. Okay. All living things are organized, which means that they have cells, which are the basic building blocks of life that create greater complexities. And we'll talk about cells a little bit more later. Have a code, which is called DNA. It's instructions and controls to the functions of life. They need energy, so plants need the sun. We need food as humans, and responds to change. So they can adapt to things that are happening internally within their bodies, their structures or systems, and they also respond to external changes, making short-term changes, which creates a state of homeostasis. For those of you who don't know, homeostasis means it's just your natural state of being when everything is balanced. So homeostasis is a balanced state. And then they can adapt over long terms. So for the refined question, number one that you're going to work on is all living things have DNA in their cells that tell the cell how to operate. So which characteristic of GROCER is this? So write your answer and sentence in your EQ tracker under the refined question. Here are some helpful sentence frames, like all living things have DNA in their cells refers to the blank and GROCER, meaning blank. So what does DNA refer to? Like which of these letters, and what was the acronym, and what does it actually mean? Okay. Your applied learning for today is going to be using the GROCER checklist to determine whether or not an object is living or not. So linked on Google Classroom is an applied learning resource list. Okay. It's listed as number 7. You're going to pick one of the 4 objects and read the information, and then you're going to put an X under each GROCER characteristic that the object actually has. So in Google Classroom, that's right here, is this document. This is for tomorrow, so don't pay attention to that. This is for today. You open it up, it has things in there, and you're going to tell me, well, you're going to pick one thing, and then you're going to tell me whether or not it's living or not. And if it has all 6, mark it with an X. Mark every different characteristic that the object has with an X. Make sure you're also, like, if you can see, this is how it looks in your EQ tracker. Make sure you tell me what object you're doing, and at the end, is it living or is it not? Don't submit the tracker, okay, because we need it for tomorrow. And then that is it for today. If you have any questions, make sure you reach out to me, and I hope you have a great day.